Once upon a time, in a small cottage by the woods, lived a brother and sister named Hansel and Gretel. They were kind, clever, and always looked out for each other, but their family was very poor. One cold night, as the wind howled outside, their stepmother whispered to their father, her voice sharp and unkind. "There is not enough food for all of us. We must leave the children in the forest." Hansel and Gretel lay awake in their tiny bed, their eyes wide with fear. But Hansel had an idea. That night, while everyone was asleep, he crept outside, shivering in the moonlight, and filled his pockets with small, smooth white pebbles. The next morning, their father took them deep into the woods. As they walked, Hansel secretly dropped pebbles along the path. When the moon rose, the pebbles shone like tiny stars, leading them safely back home. But the next day, their stepmother's voice was even colder. This time, Hansel had only breadcrumbs to leave a trail, but hungry birds swooped down, pecking them all away. Hansel and Gretel were lost. As they wandered through the darkening trees, their stomachs rumbled. Shadows stretched like long fingers across the path. Then Gretel gasped. There, standing in a clearing, was something magical. A house made of candy, chocolate, and cookies. "Hansel, look!" Gretel whispered, her eyes sparkling. They ran toward it, their worries melting away as they broke off pieces and took small bites of the delicious sweets. Suddenly, the door creaked open. A hunched old woman stepped out, her eyes twinkling. "Come in, little ones," she said sweetly. "There's plenty more inside." But the moment they stepped through the door, the old woman's smile twisted into a wicked grin. "You're mine now," she cackled. Before Hansel could run, her long, bony fingers snatched his arm. The cage door slammed shut. "I will fatten you up and eat you, little boy," she crooned, rubbing her hands together. Gretel's heart pounded, but she would not let the witch win. While she was forced to do chores, Hansel was clever. Every time the witch checked if he was fattening up, he held out a chicken bone instead of his finger. The witch's eyes were weak, and she grumbled, "Still too thin. Ugh, this is taking too long." Days passed until one morning she snapped. "Enough! I will eat you today no matter what," she told Gretel to check if the oven was hot enough, but Gretel was smart too. She looked up with innocent eyes. "I don't know how. Can you show me?" The witch bent down to look inside. And whoosh! With all her strength, Gretel shoved her in and slammed the door shut. The wicked witch was gone forever. Hansel and Gretel hugged tightly. Then they noticed something. A chest full of gold and jewels hidden in the corner. With happy hearts, they filled their pockets and raced home through the woods. When they reached their cottage, their father's eyes filled with tears. "My children, you're safe." He scooped them up in a warm embrace. Their stepmother was gone, and their home was once again filled with laughter and love. And from that day on, Hansel and Gretel never went hungry again.